Hey, I'm Jenny. Today I'm going to share how to thrift for your altar. So I will say I'm a typical Taurus. I'm frugal. I'm a mom and I like to budget. I grew up super poor. Thrift stores were kind of like the way to expand my dollar and get clothes that I thought were cool at a bargain price. And so I've been thrifting for a really long time. And I actually started thrift store shopping and garage and yard sale shopping and antique shopping for altar stuff when I was in my teens, and I've just continued it. I like the thrill of the hunt. I think it's fun. It's definitely not for everybody, but a lot of the cool items I have for myself, my clothes, my home, and for my altar have come from this kind of shopping. Recently we've moved to a different place in Oregon, and I've gotten really into estate sale shopping. Just a fancy term for yard sale. But anyway, I wanted to share a couple things before I show you some items. So one thing is, when you're buying a used item, you want to physically wash it, obviously, if possible, and then you want to spiritually cleanse it. I have my sage spray or sage. Again, you can use a piece of selenite as a wand. You can just simply pray to your angels and guides to remove anything that's stuck, any energy or any entities or any darkness that this item has picked up from all the hands it's touched and all the places it's been. And then if you get something home and it just doesn't feel right, like you just feel the energy's off and you've done what you could, maybe it's time to give it away. My friend and I, when we were teenagers, picked up some items that she worked on cleansing, and they just gave off the ickiest feeling. And so she ended up burying them in the yard, and then that was it. We never used those things. So just follow your intuition. If you're like, this has a weird feeling, cleanse it. If it still has a weird feeling, get rid of it, okay? Because you got it at a thrift store anyway, so it probably didn't cost that much. So that's kind of like my first thing. I want to make sure that you're cleansing everything. And if you're going to buy used crystals, be prepared. Crystals pick up a lot of energy, and so you might really have to cleanse those more than you would normally cleanse a crystal by burying it in the earth. That's kind of the most extreme way to cleanse a crystal. And I would recommend not buying any used black crystals, so obsidian, onyx, anything, because they pick up negativity and shadows from people, and that's really hard to get rid of. So I wouldn't buy that used, but again, use your own intuition and judgment. So a couple of things I love to find at thrift stores are maybe little homemade crocheted items. I love this. I use this around winter time for my altar because it looks like snow, but you can also find scarves and doilies and just cute little things like that to place items on. It's a great place to find pottery. I use this as a candle holder, but you could also use it for water or salt, crystals. It looks homemade to me. It has no marking, so I love the colors. It's very earthy, so it might even be good filled up with sand, but I usually fill it with salt or a candle, and it represents earth, or the candle represents fire. Again, little plates. These actually came from Target, but I got them at a thrift store. It's a little leaf, so I have this always around autumn on my altars. It's a really good place to look for statues of your spirit animals or animals that you're connected with. If you're like, I don't know what my spirit animal is, I have a class that you can, there's a link on my page, my YouTube page, and I actually go and give you a meditation on how to find your spirit animal. I believe we have more than one spirit animal. That's just my belief. And then I also believe that our angels and guides send us animals as messengers. So I found this at an antique store. I love owls. They're one of my animals, but also my grandma Ann, she collected owls, and I have them all over the house to represent her, especially in altars. It's a great place to find religious and spiritual statues. This is a Mary Magdalene, especially if you shop in certain areas where there's like a lot of Catholics. You can find really good saints and angels, and these can be kind of pricey. And then I don't like to shop for them online because they could come and be really ugly. Like I've seen some, especially Mother Mary's, where the cheeks are super red and the angels are creepy. Like, you want to really look at this in person. It's a great place for vases and chalices and pretty cups and basically all manners of pottery and glassware. And you can get creative. So like you don't have to use this for flowers. I'm using mine for feathers. And then I also wanted this purple because sometimes I like to have my altar focus on a chakra. And so if I'm going to focus on my crown chakra, I'm going to lay out a lot of purple, a lot of amethyst, and this is like perfect, right? And this kind of glass is, you know, sometimes hard to come by. And so yeah, I think thrifting for your altar is super fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would love for you to like it and subscribe and let me know what else you'd like to learn about.